Lily, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? How are you
I'm,
doing?
I'm doing good. Uh, how did you start in the music? How your beginning in music?
Oh, okay. Well, it's been a really long time, something like eight or 10 years, like a really long time. So it's hard to remember. But my the I'll start with like the catalyst. The
All right.
catalyst. This is really funny to me. I was going to school, right? I was just
Yeah.
in the school bus, and the school bus driver had just some music playing. And I remember hearing the song and just thinking this was the worst song I've ever heard. I was furious. I could not believe this song was so bad. So I decided that day, right after hearing that song, that I was going to start making my own music to make better music because I
Nice.
did not like what I heard.
Nice.
And then I spent a year like researching, finding the best DAW. I eventually settled on FL Studios. And I spent like years just trying to figure it out. And then I made a dog shit song.
So you was trying to fight the bad music, and you did another bad song.
Yeah, I just ended up making more bad music. But that's the thing. Every artist, like,
Yeah.
every artist sounds bad when they start out. It's like the most common thing, and it's what a lot of starting artists don't really think about. It's I sounded terrible like 10 years ago. If you go to my SoundCloud, under all the same name, you can just find all of my terrible music. My first song I ever uploaded is still there to this day,
Oh, nice.
publicly. Anyone can go listen to it just to see how bad I was. I
Uh,
leave it up there for posterity's sake.
I cannot say everybody's bad because I used to be an artist, but I was bad myself, so I cannot complain.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I mean, like like I said, every artist starts like
you start
sounding
somewhere.
like shit, but I've been doing this for such a long time that I've picked up a couple of tricks and I've finally like figured out what my sound is and where I am, and that leads me to my last release, Whole, the one I sent you,
Yeah.
uh, which is drum and bass, and I've decided that like for years I've been kind of genre jumping,
Yeah.
blending genres together, just making whatever I felt like. And now after years, I finally feel like I'm ready to kind of like settle down with a genre and like go from there.
Exactly. I see that you like a lot of electric electric sound. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Um, I don't know. I've just always been drawn to EDM. Some of my favorite artists growing up were Zed, Avicii. I miss him so much.
Mm.
Um, I really like Porter Robinson. He was a big influence for me on me for a while. My latest influence has been Fox Stevenson.
Who's
I've
that?
really been liking his sound a lot. Uh, my first song that I heard from him, I don't remember the name, but it was one of my favorite songs at the time, and it inspired me to like create my own songs. And so it's not the first time I've been inspired by him, but it's like the first time I've ever really felt like I can kind of meet him.
Yeah.
Rather, when I was younger and just starting out, I sounded terrible. Couldn't
So
figure out how he did any of that stuff. It was amazing.
nice. So I hear that you're coming up with a song that is 10 minutes long. How is that
Yeah,
possible?
it's actually 11 minutes. It's like
Mm.
11 minutes and like 30 something seconds. And honestly, I when I rendered it out, I didn't plan to make it. I thought it was like 7 minutes long.
Ah.
But then I like looked at I rendered it out. I was like, okay, I'm really happy with this. And then I looked at the song and I was like, oh my God, why is it so long? And then I listened to it And I was like, hey, no, this does sound really good. And then I sent it to other people, and everybody who who's listened to it has said that it's everyone who's listened to it has said that it's not, it doesn't feel like it's an 11-minute song. It only feels like it's
Yeah,
about 7 minutes.
I only
So
heard.
nothing overstays its welcome.
Yeah, I only heard 1 minute. And it sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, it's there's a lot to expect with that song, and I'm really excited for people to listen to it. It's of course, right as I decide that I'm gonna start working on drum and bass, I end up having to just coincidentally release
Yeah.
a deep house track. But going forward, I'm gonna be working on a lot more stuff. This Friday, actually, I'm gonna be announcing my release schedule for the year. I used to keep it secret, but I think going forward to build more hype for the my
Yeah,
releases, I should let my audience in on what to expect for the year rather than just shadow dropping everything.
exactly. You should let us know. I heard
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I heard. I don't know if this song is from you, but I heard that full time daddy. Right? Am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong?
No, that's not my song.
Oh, because I saw on your profile.
No, I just retweeted that because the song sounded good and I thought that person needed a boost. I don't
Nice.
know if my audience will do much, but you know,
My fault. My apologies. I was trying to do research.
no, it's okay. Yeah, no, I get it. It's okay.
Your song, Paul. Why inspired that song? What was the meaning behind the song?
Yeah, that's the thing. There is no meaning. It's I use a lot of samples in my music. I can't sing. I'm working on my voice, but I'm not anywhere near where I want to be to feel
Mm,
comfortable with singing yet.
yeah.
Um, so I just don't. But I use a lot of like royalty free, like sound packs and stuff, and I just put stuff together. For the last like year, I've been working off of a phone,
Mm,
just putting samples together in interesting ways and making songs. I released an entire album that way, and something that I'm gonna reveal on Friday. I might as well reveal it early. I've
mm,
got and it was originally supposed to be an EP, but somehow the track like the somehow the overall length ended up being over an hour long, so I suppose it's technically an album now. But after the release of Remember Me, I've got what was originally supposed to just be a 5-track EP, which turned into a 5-track hour-long album, dropping uh sometime in August. I believe
mm.
August 2nd. So that song that by itself, the I'll put it this way, the shortest track on that album
So,
is like, I think like 5 minutes long, maybe
ah,
7 minutes. The
nice.
longest is like 11 minutes and 44 seconds.
So, uh, how many songs is gonna be on the album?
Just five.
Just five? What?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Originally it was supposed to be an EP, but then the track lengths just kind of kept getting longer.
Yeah.
And then I started doing research and like eventually stumbled upon the fact that, oh, yeah, that's an album. That it's
Mm,
an album length, not an EP. So it's an album. But yeah, it's called A-side, in reference to the A side of a vinyl record.
nice. When I
Yeah,
interview somebody for the first time, I always ask this question, and this question is, what advice would you tell somebody who's coming up just like you that nobody told you when you was
that's a
coming
good
up?
question. I remember you asking that in that interview that you sent me yesterday. So yeah, that definitely a good question. I was thinking about that. Some advice that you've probably seen me post on Twitter a couple times is one that I will die by.
Mm,
Never ever pay someone to do something when someone else will do it for free.
Mm,
It's always good advice, but I don't think it's advice that I would have needed to hear because it's just advice that does make sense.
yeah.
Advice that I wish someone had told me when I had first started, these things take time. Music is a long game. You have
Yeah.
to work years at this stuff. When I first started, I was expecting like I'd put out a song, it would go viral, and I'd make it big. And that it's just so unbelievably unrealistic. It's
Unrealistic.
so unbelievably unrealistic because so many artists expect to just blow up, and then when they don't, it just kills their drive.
Yeah, they just
And
stop
it's like,
doing
yeah, exactly. Like they just end up giving up because they're sitting there thinking, "Oh, well, I'm never gonna get the chance to get
it.
big because I didn't go viral." It's like, no, I've wrestled with that for years, and
Mm,
I've come to a point where it's just I just release the music, and if I do well, I do well. If I don't, I don't.
exactly.
But I'm gonna take what I learned from not doing well and do the opposite. If I didn't advertise on a particular song very well, well, I need to advertise better. If I
Exactly.
didn't do well, because like
Yeah,
it's it it takes a long time to build up the skills and like music's just a slow burn.
yeah,
Like the music industry when you're small, it's just a slow burn and so many artists will get swept up in how long it's taking for them to take off, myself included. I wrestle that with
exactly.
that every day. I
Yeah,
was wrestling with that feeling yesterday. Um, but so many artists will get caught up in that feeling and then just get so discouraged, thinking they're not that great of an artist. And then they'll release less music, they'll lose the drive to advertise, and it just further makes it worse, and it always sucks.
yeah. What do you see yourself in into in 5 years?
Well, 5 years? I don't know.
Ah,
Personally, I don't bother liking to ask that question because I don't know. I'll tell you where I'd like to be.
mm,
I'd like to be able to afford to pay rent, groceries, and all of my other bills, and then still have enough money left over to actually start investing in my music.
nice. Nah,
That's what I want.
I like that. I like that. Uh,
Where do I see myself in 5 years? I don't know
mm,
because I don't like to plan those things out because then you set yourself up for disappointment if you don't get there. Then you end up feeling like shit because you're like, oh, I could have done so much more. And that, yeah, maybe, but that doesn't matter. Just
mm,
just do what works. Don't worry about what doesn't, and figure it out as you go. You'll get there eventually. Just keep going.
nice, nice. I like that. So in the single hole, I see that you have got two versions of it. Why is that?
I just thought it'd be fun. I originally made the original version of Whole, just the one that was labeled Whole was the first version that came out.
Yeah.
It was the first version I had made,
Mm,
technically. And then I was showing the song to one of my friends, and he was like, "It's a good song, and I like it, but I'm not so fond of the pitched up vocals." I was like,
mm,
"Okay, that's interesting. Why is that?" And he was like, "Well, personally, I don't like it. I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite." So I'm like, "Okay,
it's not his style.
how would you like me to fix that?" And then he was like, "Well, I'd love to hear a version of the song pitched down." I was like, "Okay." So I spend like a couple days like pondering on how I'd go about doing that, and
Yeah.
then I eventually figured it out. So I decided to just like go through with that, and I created the second version of the song. Um, and I believe I did that also for A side as well.
Nice.
So A side will have something similar. But I was just like, I really like this idea, so I just went through with it. And then originally I'd done that after I had uh, submitted my song for release. So I
Okay.
actually had to delete the song and then refill out all the information
That is.
with the second song included so I could release it the way I wanted to in one package.
Alrighty, alrighty. Any
It's a
last
lot of
words you
work.
want to say before we go?
You know what? I'm really appreciative that I got this opportunity. So I want to say thank you very much.
I'm here to help.
And yeah, no, I really appreciate it. It's I'm really happy that we made a connection today, and networking is really good and useful, but like also I'm just glad I got to like have this opportunity. This is my first interview, and
Yeah.
if I came across as awkward at all, that's because I am, but
It's okay. I'm awkward
you
too. Don't
know,
worry.
yeah, exactly. Like we're human. We're all human.
Exactly.
It's everybody's awkward on camera. There's very few people like
Especially when you meet it for the first time.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm very I'm an ambivert, but I lean more towards introversion than anything else. So
Yeah.
like I'm just a little awkward. Like I'm autistic too, so I have some social issues and whatnot, and it can be very struggle.
Yeah.
It can be a struggle.
Alrighty, my friend. It was nice to meet you. Next time you
Yeah.
drop in a single, let me know. I will be here to help.
Oh, I would 100% love to do another interview with you. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I will without a doubt send you more information when I plan on releasing stuff.
Alrighty, my brother. My fault. Have a good day.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.